If you are ready to learn about profitable NBA betting strategies, then this video is for you. My name is Matt Modi, content creator for oddsjam.com. I know that today is opening day for baseball. Very excited for the Phillies season, but we still have two NBA games going on tonight. Two actually pretty good NBA games. We have Bucks Celtics and we have Pelicans Nuggets. So two pretty good games. So for this video, I'm going to talk to you about NBA betting strategies, specifically talking about player props, while providing three profitable NBA player props for you guys. It's been a very good month of March for me. Every single bet that I place, you actually can get notified and have access to. The link to my dashboard is in the description of the video. So I had specifically on this YouTube channel, three player props yesterday. Finally had a good day after a couple rough days in a row. I went 2-1. I will admit my favorite play of the evening was Luka Doncic over 46.5 points, rebounds, assists. That did not hit, but we had LeBron under 5.5 assists. That hit. And then we had Devin Booker over 32.5 points plus assists. That hit as well. And then I also posted a bunch of plays on Twitter as well. So for those of you who don't already, I would recommend following me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is on the screen here. It's also in the description of the video as well. But a couple plays I posted on Twitter, I had the Mike Conley under assists. I do a live Twitter Spaces every day where I gave out the Jordan Nwora under 25.5 points, rebounds, assists. That hit. And then my co-host, Slop, John Highslop, those of you probably know him, he gave out the Giannis triple-double one that hit at plus 600 odds. So that was a nice payout as well. But for this video, like I said, I have three NBA player props for you guys. And let's get right into it. So play number one, we are locking in Brandon Ingram to go over 6.5 assists. This is at plus 118 odds at FanDuel. So number one, we got to talk about the value here. And when you're talking about value, I just mean compare the odds of the bet you are placing, compare them to the rest of the sports books. So we locked it in at plus 118 at FanDuel. Look where every other sportsbook is pricing this. So we can ignore Prize Picks because they're DFS, so they have the same odds for everything. But pretty much universally across the board, we see sportsbooks price it around plus 100, with the closest book being BetOnline at plus 107. So this does look like an outlier and something that we should take advantage of. But if you're ever unsure of whether it is truly an outlier or not, there's an easy way for you to figure this out, right? To know, okay, is this actually good or not? What you want to do is click View the Event page and then open the link in a new tab. What that does is it pulls up the screen you see here. So it's the entire player assists market for the Pelicans versus Nuggets game. So essentially what it does is whatever market you are betting, it just pulls up the entire landscape of that market. So we locked in Brandon Ingram over 6.5 assists at plus 118 odds. So what you want to do is you want to click Show No Vig Odds, this button right here. What that does is exactly what it sounds like. It removes the VIG from literally every single sportsbook that is pricing this play, and it shows you their fair odds. So you want to make sure, okay, do the odds of the bet that I'm placing beat the fair odds of the majority of sportsbooks? And in this case, the answer is a resounding yes, right? Look at where the fair odds are priced of every single sportsbook. Plus 115, plus 117, plus 113. We can ignore these two. BetOnline is the only one that doesn't at plus 120, but every other book, plus 113, plus 114. Actually, I was wrong. Fox Bet also doesn't at plus 121, and then Pinnacle at plus 117, which is these two right here. So as you can see, the plus 118 odds at FanDuel literally beats the no vig odds of every single sportsbook except for two. So it answers the question of, do the odds of the bet that I'm placing beat the no vig line of the majority of sportsbooks? Yes, that makes it a good bet, long story short. And I did look into this one a little bit. So Brandon Ingram, understandably not known for being a distributor, but there's a couple things why I like this one. Number one, he's gone 7+ assists. He's had 7+ assists in 5 of his last 6 games. Now, the reason why I like that small sample size is because that coincides with a hot streak for the Pelicans after a long season where they started hot and then had been just struggling for a long time. Finally got hot recently with a lot of impressive wins in that stretch. They obviously just recently lost to the Warriors, but they still played them hard, were up big in the game and kind of lost it in the fourth quarter. But prior to that, they had won like 4, 5, 6 straight, something like that. And in those games, Ingram had 7+ assists. So the fact that we're getting this for plus 118 odds, I think is incredible value. And the markets are telling us that this is a good price as well, because just look at where every other sportsbook prices it. So play number 1, we're looking at Brandon Ingram over 6.5 assists on FanDuel plus 118. Play number 2, another play that we locked in on the low holds page on FanDuel is Al Horford over 5.5 rebounds. This is at minus 113 odds at FanDuel. The reason why I like this one is pretty similar logic. Just compare the minus 113 to every other sportsbook. Now we do see a couple that are close, like BetRivers at minus 114, BetOnline at minus 123, and then PointsBet at minus 115. So we have two that are pretty, almost exactly the same, right, at minus 114 and minus 115. And then we have BetOnline at minus 123. But every other book is in the minus 130s up to minus 145 and minus 140. And Al Horford is a pretty, in my opinion, easy player to understand when you should back and when you should fade. He's one of those players that he's older, so he can't play 100% of his, he can't give 100% of his energy in every single game. So he gets up for the big games. Well, Bucks Celtics, that is the 1 seed at home against the 2 seed in the Eastern Conference. I would, for my money, the 2 best teams in the entire NBA. This is a huge matchup for both of these teams. Now, the Bucks are hot. They've been hot for a while now. The Celtics started the season hot, had been really good the entire year, but recently, in the past couple weeks or so, have been scuffling a little bit. Now, for me, for my money, that's just the doldrums of the regular season, and it's hard to keep that energy up for the entire season. And the Celtics did get burnt out in the finals last year, so I think they understand to kind of conserve their energy, especially at the end of the regular season. But this is a game that they will get up for, and Al Horford is almost a microcosm of the entire Celtics team. So my guess is that he's going to play a heavy allotment of minutes, and he's going to put full effort into this game. Horford was incredible in the Bucks series, the playoff series last year, and I'm expecting him to play well in this game as well. And again, the most important thing is just the value, right? I like looking into the matchups and stuff. None of that stuff actually really matters. The most important thing is just the value, which we are getting an incredible value at minus 113. So I think it's a good play. Al Horford over 5.5 rebounds, minus 113 at FanDuel. And then the last play, we are going back to the Pelicans versus Nuggets, and we are locking in Jamal Murray over 3.5 made 3-pointers. So these odds are pretty juicy at plus 160, but I do think that it's a really good play. Most notably, look at how low BetOnline is on this compared to FanDuel, right? Plus 115, and then we see plus 110, and then we see a couple books that kind of meet them in the middle. FanDuel at plus 145, BetRivers at plus 132, and PointsBet at plus 135. So the plus 160 on FanDuel is 15 cents higher than the DraftKings number, and then kind of in the middle we see a couple books, and then on the low end is BetOnline. But this plus 160 is an outlier compared to every other sports book. So Jamal Murray, the way that this is labeled on FanDuel is 4+ 3-pointers, as you can see right here. And I locked this one in. I locked all 3 of these bets in. As you can see, I got a ton of baseball action here, of course. But I have Al Horford over 5.5 rebounds, risk to win 75. Brandon Ingram over 6.5 assists, risk 75. And then the Jamal Murray one, I lowered the unit size a little bit because FanDuel made me. I would have put 3/4 of a unit, 75 on this one as well. And that's it. So 3 NBA player props for you guys to lock in. If you're tailing, comment and let me know. Other than that, please remember to like, subscribe, hit me up on Twitter. Enjoy the games, enjoy the MLB games as well, and have a good one.